Pokimane's in trouble again, bro.
Pokimane is back in the news. So recently she went on a stream with Jason the Ween and started ranting about rich people. And naturally this made a lot of people mad considering she is a multi-millionaire with a bunch of businesses and was literally bragging about her wealth a day ago on Twitter. We also had that situation with her overpriced cookies where she shamed people who didn't want to buy them, calling them broke boys. So this started a bunch of arguments on Twitter. Even Sneeko came out of nowhere commenting on the situation as well.
Oh,
Hassan
boy.
came in white knighting as usual, defending his fellow multi-millionaire out-of-touch streamer. And then Pokimane responded to the situation. XUC also responded to the situation, so we'll be checking that out as well. But it all starts with this clip here, Pokimane ranting about the ultra-rich.
Do you think someday we'll have a revolution like that in America? Right? It's getting there, right?
Bro.
Another one.
What's going on?
The wealth disparity is getting bad.
The wage gap, I hate that shit.
No, wealth disparity.
Wealth disparity.
Wage gap is like between men and women. Men and women, we love each other.
Facts.
And we hate the rich. Anyways.
We hate the rich, bro.
Aren't you the rich?
No! Like the ultra rich, the ultra giga rich, the
You have to
unnecessarily
clarify.
rich.
They're gonna
You
clip
niggas see what
that
you're
and
talking
it's gonna
about.
Make you look bad.
Oh,
You
the
gotta
ultra
say,
giga
you gotta
rich.
say the billionaires.
The billionaires.
you are rich.
The Bezos.
You can't be saying that.
I am. I'm rich in friendship.
Yes.
Okay, so Jason there knew exactly what would happen, and he was completely right. Watching a privileged streamer like Pokimane ranting about the rich while pretty much on vacation in Paris on a boat does come off completely out of touch.
Right?
Now, if I had to guess, Pokimane's net worth is easily over $20 million, so
Golly.
she's not exactly someone who just qualifies as just a millionaire, like 1 or 2 mil. This is definitely someone who falls under the rich
Bro.
umbrella. Maybe not billionaire type wealth, but definitely enough to not be affected at all by the so-called wealth disparity. She was literally the face of Twitch, owns multiple companies, and has a
Right?
rich streamer friend group, and pretty much goes on vacation whenever she wants, so that's not really relatable to anyone. And I don't know why she keeps digging herself into holes like this. I feel like she always feels the need to seem relatable to other people, to seem quirky when she's just not. Also, I love how she said, men and women, we actually love each other. Meanwhile, literally every drama she's been a part of is her saying some sexist statement or hating on men in some way, or saying that, you know, women have it worse, or streaming is male dominated or something like that. Just some sort of argument to make men and women hate each other, and then she goes and says this shit. Anyway, so naturally that clip pissed a lot of people off. Here's what people are saying. And we hate the rich. Pokimane's net worth is $25 million. Dumbass.
Whoa.
She's worth at least 20 million. What the hell is she talking about? She is a rich. She's literally the top 1% complaining about the top 0.1%. What people like Hassan and Pokimane don't understand is that they are the 1%. Just because they aren't Bezos rich doesn't mean that they are comrades. You live in an entirely different world, and it's insufferable to hear you act like you don't. Also, buy my cookies, broke boy. Wasn't she calling us broke because we said her $20 cookies were too expensive?
When people are like, oh my god, $28 for cookies? It's 4 bags. That's $7 a bag. I know math is hard when you're an idiot, but
Golly.
like if you're a broke boy, just say so. Anyways.
Wow, I forgot how annoying that clip actually was, but that jogged my memory real quick. Anyways, this clip somehow revived Sneeko from the dead, and he gave his thoughts on the situation. Sneeko went off on Pokimane after she went on a rant about rich people. You're saying this while on a yacht drifting through Paris making millions of dollars.
Right?
No, like the ultra rich, the ultra.
Shut the f up! No! I'm just like you poor people!
Right?
On a yacht drifting through Paris making millions of dollars. Shut the f up. If
Oh
you're gonna
my
eat the
gosh,
rich, you gotta
bro.
eat yourself. Holy.
Giga rich. The
You have to
unnecessarily rich.
clarify. They're gonna clip that and it's gonna make you look bad.
Thank you.
You gotta say the billionaires.
The
Because you are rich.
The Bezos.
You can't be
Imagine you,
I'm rich.
bro, your net worth is 20 million and you're talking about she's not rich. That's crazy, bro.
It's like they're so rich they lost perspective of how much money they actually have and what normal people have.
Yeah, when Sneeko is somehow making sense, you know you messed up. This guy is a complete lobotomite, and somehow even he figured out that this is super annoying and out of touch to listen to. She said she's rich in friendship, by the way. Like, I'm sure. Isn't she known as like a snake or a ruthless businesswoman in her friend group or something? I don't know her
Exactly.
friend group exactly, but I know that she is friends with XQC, and he definitely doesn't like her that much anymore. She was literally beefing with him last time, saying that his $100 million contract was fake. Literally having ego wars with him, like who's richer.
There was a headline about XQC getting $100 million
Yeah,
from Kick.
but I've heard different things behind the scenes. You also don't know, oh, is part of that 100 million like equity?
In
Is
equity
it
in
paid in
Kick,
different
yeah.
ways? Was
Yeah.
it actually 100, or was it just a headline that makes everybody look good so nobody refutes it?
It's just so pathetic that you go from that to being like, eat the rich, tax the rich, we hate the rich. I hate when rich people pretend and act like they aren't rich. This is like such a common thing on YouTube and streaming because you build like this sort of parasocial audience and you want to seem relatable to them, but the thing is you just aren't. I think there's no issue with being rich, obviously, right? Especially if you earned that money through your own hard work and made a self-made career. But
Fair
when
enough.
you try to act like you're somehow relatable and have the issues that everyone else has, it's just ridiculous and cringe. Like, if you have a brain, you know that she never has to worry about money ever again. And that's very
Thank
different
you.
from someone who has to actually think and plan out their life based on finances, you know, make different career choices, pick different places based on rent, buy the cheaper groceries. Like, your entire life definitely changes when you have financial freedom and stuff like that. So it's just so out of touch to say this type of stuff. Anyways, the situation got worse when local idiot Hassan Piker chimed in, defending his queen Pokey, white
Local
knighting
idiot, you
as
know.
usual. By the way, some relevant context, this guy's the guy who lives in a $3 million house wearing a shirt called Tax the Rich. This is the guy who says he lives on a necessity budget while spending millions on a house and fancy clothes, and also bought a supercar because it would be like the chat also owned the car. And he said he didn't even buy it for himself, even though he's the only one driving it. This is also
Right.
the guy who said streaming is more draining than a 9 to 5. So definitely not another out of touch moron here. Hassan defends Pokimane after she went viral for calling out rich people but ignoring herself. Most streamers have a much better understanding of what it used to be like when they didn't have money. Freaking annoying that people yell at rich people that have takes like this. Literal Nepo baby Hassan with a billionaire dad is saying this shit.
I didn't even know this nigga is that much for money. But if we run the
You
clip,
can't make this shit up.
I think it's because of the closeness that most streamers have to being normal people at a certain point in their lives, as opposed to like a guy who's been a multi-billionaire for the past decade or so.
in that his dad.
Most streamers have a much nicer and much better understanding of what it used to be like when they didn't have fucking money, and therefore have takes like this. You want rich people to have takes like this. It's very fucking annoying that people yell at rich people that have takes like this.
Yeah, it's very annoying when people yell at rich people like me. It's just very annoying, guys, that people yell at me for pretending to be relatable. Of course,
Right?
Hassan is defending Pokey here because he literally does the same thing. He's literally a Nepo baby, never struggled once in his life. Dad was a borderline billionaire. Uncle is a multi-millionaire who gave him his entire political career. But yes, it's very annoying that people don't include me in their little group and don't find me relatable as well. Now, in classic Hassan fashion, he addresses an argument that nobody made.
The
You have to
unnecessarily
clarify. They're gonna clip that and it's gonna make you look bad.
Oh,
You
The
gotta
ultra
say
giga
you gotta
rich.
say the billionaires.
the
'Cause you are rich.
the Bezos.
You can't be
I mean, he
Bro, Jason was putting her on blast like you are rich, bro. Like you got money. So who are you supposed to be hating on, bro?
was right, and they did clip it regardless. This is literally her being less dumb than everyone else in the room, explaining the difference between millionaires and the ultra rich who control the country even out of office is so stupid. No, you don't understand, brother. You don't understand. It's actually Pokimane that is responsible for the disparity of wealth in this country.
Yeah, literally nobody said that she's responsible for the wealth disparity. Is this guy brain dead on purpose or something? Is this
Has
like
to
a
be.
medical condition that you can fix? Is it just makes him act like a troglodyte 24/7? It's crazy. Like every time
Oh
he
my
will say
gosh.
something completely unrelated to why people are mad. Nobody thinks that she is the reason for wealth disparity. They're saying it's annoying watching a rich person rant about the economy and saying how we should hate rich people when she's literally one of them. And this absolute brain dead reject keeps saying, oh, well, it's completely different that from billionaires who have way too much money. Well, spoilers, in the case of regular everyday purchases, there is no difference between someone like her with $20 million and Jeff Bezos with several billion. Unless you're actually going out of your way and buying yachts and private jets and massive companies, then sure, okay, there's a difference. Pokimane probably can't afford a yacht. But if you got freaking $20 million, you can still buy anything at the grocery store. You don't have to check prices when you're leaving the store with clothes. You can buy a new phone every time it comes out. You can rent most places very easily. If something happens to your house, you can simply move. You have lifelong income. You can retire your family. You can buy a very good house. Sure, you can't buy ultra mansions worth 100 mil, but just like you, she can buy a $3 million mansion and pretend she's for the working class. Like, you people are such gigantic hypocrites. Meanwhile, everybody in Hassan's chat is completely broke and they will donate money to him. It's like the funniest shit ever, bro. My God, like, how are people so stupid that they actually fall for this? Bro, how is this guy?
Bro, I don't understand. These are millionaires complaining about how they want to be relatable, but they're super rich. What are you like talking about, bro?
On the wrong side of literally everything. Anyone Hassan defends, I immediately hate. Classic Hassan moment. No, I mean the people richer than me. Communist with the Gucci bag.
You see what I'm saying?
$200,000 sports car is a vital tool for spreading the message of the working class. A multi-million-dollar mansion, a basic necessity.
And I don't care. I live on a basic necessity budget for the most part anyway.
Basic necessity
You feel
budget,
me?
literally on some private jet or some shit. Anyways, the situation got even worse when people pointed out that Poki was actually bragging about her wealth on Twitter the previous day. Okay, so it started with this cringy tweet by Pokimane here saying Angie, and she's just sort of looking at the camera. May I remind the audience that she is pushing 30 posting tweets like this. Why are you acting like a teenage girl fishing for attention on the internet? You know, the first time I saw this, I didn't even recognize her. I thought this was some like weird OnlyFans advertisement because the people who usually post these types of tweets are OnlyFans girls. So anyways, people just responded making fun of her, saying that she's 30 years old or whatever. And then she responded saying this: I got a weird influx of
Don't
weirdos
speak.
commenting
You
on my
know-
age. To be honest, I find it so dumb. At 28, I'm the happiest, richest, most knowledgeable, and self-assured I've ever been. And that only becomes more true with every year that passes. That's right, I'm very rich, guys. Just reminding you. Although I don't care about the comments, that's a capachungus, I do worry about the impact it has on other goals. Yes, actually, guys, let me make this a men versus women issue again. And women who see this type of harassment, bro, what do you want about? And to them, I want to reassure you that life only gets better. No, actually, it only gets better if you have $20 million, actually. Growing older will not make you miserable, but living your life trying to appease random shitty people definitely will. Yeah, you know someone is happy when they
can't
write on
stand-
Twitter that I'm so happy, guys. Please believe me. I'm actually really happy, guys. Please. I think if you're
damn.
actually happy, you don't really need to post about it. Here we got QT Cinderella, or Ludwig's girlfriend, here saying, I too am not old and I'm very rich. So that's basically what she was saying. She just confirmed it. People responded with this meme of just like the thumbs up, like we do not care. Here's a thought. They weren't calling you out for getting old. They're calling you out for being omega cringe, which is something everybody gets called out for. If a grown man looks at that at the camera and is like, oh, I'm angry, like, you think he isn't gonna get made fun of? That's the
Thank you.
cringiest shit I've ever seen.
He's gonna get
Yikes.
cooked.
This guy did a quote tweet to Pokimane's tweet and it got 100k likes. This is gonna be an absolute essay here. You're 28 a main, not 18, not 80. Calling her by her real name, alright? But every year you get more self-assured and somehow less self-aware.
Main,
This
is that a
isn't
real
growth, it's
name?
arrested development in HD. Streaming hours at a time daily since adolescence didn't empower you. It just froze you in digital puberty. You talk like a life coach, post like a thirst trap, and react like a teenager whose ego is held together by brand deals and soft lighting. What the heck is this? This is a whole essay, bro. This isn't harassment. It's grown adults pointing out that grown adulthood doesn't look like this. And if life really gets better every year, why do you still act like you're one comment away from spiraling into a subtweet? If this is confidence, why does it only show up when there's a camera and a curated audience? You didn't outgrow the internet. You just aged into it like spoiled milk with a ring light. Preserve by validation. Paid for by the same men who X'd
Fucking-
you into a career that you deny you capitalized on. This isn't targeted hate. This has got to be the most jobless post, but I mean, it kind of makes sense, but also it's like, dude, what are you doing writing a paragraph on Twitter? It's a wake-up call, a reminder that the bubble you've built full of orbiters, yes men, and men with spare cash who defend you for a crumb of attention isn't
These
reality.
niggas, bro.
And it clearly rattled you to discover that outside of that curated echo chamber, not everyone knows you, likes you, or wants to see a grown woman caption Angie with her cleavage staged like a thumbnail. That's not empowerment. It's arrested development wrapped in a push-up bra craving for attention, and most people don't find infantilized thirst traps endearing. Okay, well,
This nigga kind of hates women, bro. Let me just say that, bro.
I just sort of thought it was cringe for someone to do that. I don't know if I'll go this far into dissecting every single. I don't know what did this guy use ChatGPT? This looks way too
Right?
like sophisticated even for ChatGPT. They find them sad. You're pushing 30 but still living like a girl whose future is stuck buffering, pausing real life long enough to keep the illusion playing. So here's the thing, it's not black and white, and it's not simple weird influx of weirdos commenting on my age that you've convinced yourself of. It's not just the internet being mean to you. The reality is the average adult, the one who isn't lost in your bubble, doesn't want to see a grown woman exolizing herself for attention, no matter how much she tries to wrap it in the guise of being knowledgeable and self-assured. The truth is, you've made your career off X, and you've never fully admit to it because you've convinced yourself you're more than
Bro, imagine you constant sexualizing on YouTube. Like, what are we talking about, bro? Like, oh my gosh, bro.
that. But the longer you keep pretending, the more you'll realize that it's not the world that's the problem. It's you acting like you've got something to prove at 28 when honestly, you're just holding on to a version of yourself that doesn't even exist anymore. Grow up.
You
And here's the
fucking
real
shit,
irony.
bro.
Your entire career is built on appeasing random shitty people, but the shitty people you're worried about, the ones criticizing you for your age or looks, are just as shitty as the ones who actualize you, throw their money at you. You've spent years building a career that thrives on attention, both from people who want to elevate you and from people who reduce you to nothing more than a commodity. The truth is, you've let both sides feed your ego, but you'll never admit it because they're the same people who keep you in business. So maybe it's time to realize growing older won't make you miserable. It's selling out to the same people you pretend not to care about. That's the real trap. A self-inflicted cage that stunted your maturity, far worse than any comment or harassment. I can't believe 100k people actually read that. Did they like this tweet without reading it? Because that took like half an hour to
Bro, that just. Not to be a hater, but I can't stand it, bro. I can't. I cannot.
actually
For the life
get
of me, I
through.
couldn't.
My God, I don't know. He made some good points as well, but Jesus Christ, you need to get off Twitter and touch grass, bro. Like
He
typing
probably-
this
he said that
paragraph
right.
is
He
not
said
gonna
that.
change anything, bro. I don't know what you're.
If this nigga said that writing outside on a meadow somewhere, bro, he got all of it off his chest, bro. You know what I'm saying? She's from a place of privilege again. She was Twitch's poster girl for like how many years? You couldn't go on Twitch without seeing her. And then I got onto Twitch in like 2000, maybe 2018. That's when I learned what Twitch was, and she was doing it way before then. But she was doing it when it had older Twitch overlays, and I was looking at it going like, what is this Twitch thing? Then I jumped on, and people that I was watching on YouTube started branching off to Twitch. This nigga's face was everywhere. We could understand why. Just from the appeal point of view. But again, we're saying thirsty men, hungry teenagers, people that want to hate on her, the hate watchers will donate to hate. Thirsty girls will donate to be thirsty. And then there's people that will just watch to see what the fuck happens. Rich people can't complain about being rich. Because she wouldn't trade that lifestyle to be more relatable to the people that she wants to be relatable to. That's me and you, bro. That's the average Joes like us, bro. If I was in that position, certain things wouldn't come out my mouth because I'm like, the rich, when I'm sitting on like a couple of mil.
You're doing like at least I'm making money off this video. Like what are you doing, dog? SCC reacts to Pokimane calling out rich people but omitting herself, uses cheese taco analogy to further his point. Sounds like XQC. If you're rich and you somehow get richer, you're automatically bad. Brain rot. I think you're dealing with the branch of the problem, not the stem. All right, so obviously XQC has some stake in this because
This
he's
nigga, I
worth
can't
over
stand either.
$100 million. So obviously he's gonna feel a certain way, but we'll see.
Jesus, that's f***ing tough as shit. I don't really get it. So what happens if you're rich and you somehow get richer? You're automatically bad. You know what, chat? I think this is like some brain rot. No disrespect. It's all good. I'm not mad at Poki or anything. I just think that I don't think it makes you. So if you make a company and it makes $100 million, you're chilling.
When niggas
But
just
then
talk for the
something
sake of
takes
talking.
off while you're on vacation. Some guy makes a new product in your company. They invent the cheese taco, okay? And then your Taco Bell becomes a billionaire venture. Now you're a billionaire. Now you're a bad person? Really? So the behavior and the handling is the same. You're on vacation while somebody else did something for you that end up being $1 billion idea.
He's
And
talking and I'm just lost.
Now you're wrong.
I just
I don't
literally,
really agree with that.
he was talking and I literally just stared at the screen and was paying attention to him scrolling and not what he was saying. I don't know how anybody watches this guy, bro.
I think you're kind of like dealing with the branch of the problem, not the
Let me
stem.
focus. Let me try and
Anyways, after the
focus.
clip of her with Jason the Ween went viral, she responded on Twitter again saying, "There's been lots of opinions about me on Twitter recently, and I just want to thank the people who read past the headlines and see me for who I truly am. I appreciate y'all so much." Just the vaguest tweet ever. Yeah, actually, guys, everything I've ever said and done on the internet in the past decade, that's actually not me at all. I hope you see past that. You know, the real me is totally different. I actually get in drama every month for being a complete moron, but actually that's not the real me. The real me is not an annoying, pandering, rich streamer. It's actually somebody who you like. Anyways, click this video or you're forced to eat Pokimane's cookies while she calls you a broke boy on repeat for 24 hours. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.